Yo, what up?
Hey, I've got a lead I need to take a look at. Possible Novation.
Cool. Where'd you get it?
High speed.
High speed lead. All right. What's the address?
It is.
Nice, guy. This looks like a really nice house. In what area of Dallas?
Yeah, it's over there kind of off,
Yeah,
like Lakewood-ish area.
that's a really, really nice area. Dude, this is
Or,
a...
I'm sorry, Lake.
Yeah, this is a nice house. So, okay, so you're not thinking about wholesaling this as a fix and flip. You're thinking about actually doing a novation.
Yeah, I think doing Novation would, honestly, I wouldn't want to give this away for a wholesale fee. I'd rather do the work myself and kind of do a Novation on it. I think the profit would be a lot higher. So, possible Novation on this one.
Yeah, I can see how it could need a little bit of updating. Like I'm looking at the bathroom right now, could use new countertops and new floors throughout the house. It's really nice though. That backyard's spectacular. That's going to probably bring you an extra at least $100,000 in the purchase price.
Yeah, it has a pool and everything like that. So I think
it's a nice house. So yeah, I could see maybe you want to redo the floors. I'm sure the kitchen could use some updating. But there's really two types of novations. Hold on. Yeah, there's the kitchen. There's two types of novations. There's a novation where you actually do work, which is more of like a fix and flip novation. Or there's what I call a wholesale novation where all you're going to do is just list the house on MLS and you're going to make the difference. So before I get into the details on exactly what a novation is and how it works, let's pull up some comps and see what this thing is currently worth and what it could be worth if you fixed it up. And that's going to help us decide which strategy we want to choose. So while I comp this thing, what's their motivation for wanting to sell?
Yeah, so I actually talked to the son. His mom inherited the house from his dad about a year ago. The transfer was about a year ago. She just doesn't want to live in the same property. I guess they were married for 40 something years. Doesn't want to live in the same house, obviously, anymore. And so she just wants to downsize, find a new property, but believes her property, could be worth more if she were to fix it up herself. She just doesn't want to put the money and time to fix it up herself. So I talked to the son and was like, hey, we do such thing called a novation where we come in, we'll do all the work for you. We'll list it for you so you don't have to worry about finding an agent. You don't have to worry about putting up capital or finding contractors, anything like that. We'll do all the hard work for you and we'll give you, your price point as long as it's fair and it still, equals a profitable transaction for us. And he was like, that sounds perfect. That's really what we need because she doesn't want to let it go to an investor for a super low amount. So I said, unfortunately, if we were to do, a deal where we were to find you guys an investor or come in and flip it ourselves, we would, be a little bit lower, but doing a novation, we could probably get you a little bit more on that price. So he likes that idea. So,
and what did they want for it again?
They wanted around, they got an offer that they rejected around 720, hoping to get above 720. They're a little bit more motivated than when they received that offer. Their magic number is 780 though.
Okay, sounds good. So like you said, with a novation, you can usually pay closer to 80% of ARV, where we're more wholesaling, we're shooting for that 70 to maybe 75% of ARV. So yeah, we can give them a little bit more money. And it's exactly what you said. When you do a novation, what you're doing is you're almost doing a JV partnership with the seller. You're coming in and sometimes you're fixing up the property and then selling it on MLS, or sometimes you're just honestly getting in there, broom sweep, cleaning it, taking beautiful pictures and then listing it on MLS. Now you're paying all the agent fees, you're paying all the closing costs. So whatever you offer them, let's say 780, if you then sell it for $1 million, you subtract your fees and you keep the net difference. It's almost like a net listing as a realtor. They don't do that often. Usually realtors get paid 3%. In this case, it's almost like a net listing, but you don't need your license. So this is a way you can actually sell a wholesale deal on MLS to a retail buyer, skipping the investor without you having your real estate license. It's a really cool trick. And I'll explain to you how it works at the end and what the contracts entail because it's actually pretty interesting. You're actually memoing the house. So we're going to slap a memo on this house, but I'll talk about that here in a second. So I'm getting the property as having 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2-car garage, 2,200 square feet. But when you texted me, you said it was a lot bigger, right?
Yeah, so it's actually, they added a couple of years ago, a 1,200 square foot addition. So now that property is a 5'3.5". So they added an extra bathroom and a half bath as well as that 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, and see, I'm not getting pictures of that, and I'm sure that's actually updated, right? So we really need to go walk this house because half of the, about 50% of that house could be updated and the rest is not. So we got to go check it out. But even just the comps that I'm pulling, I could see ARV being anywhere between above 1.1 million. It could even, go to 1.2 pretty easily. I'm pulling up a comp here that sold for 1.15. That's a very, very similar comp, except, ours has that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful backyard, which to somebody's going to add a lot of value. Let's see if this one does too. Give me a second here. I mean, this one's really spectacular. Yeah, this one doesn't even have that as nice of a backyard. So I could see, conservative ARV 1.1, and it could even go to higher to maybe 1.2. Now, so for a fix and flip, I'll pull up my wholesale calculators here. Let's just say rehab is, how many square feet did you say it was?
It's whatever MLS says plus 1,200. So let's see. It says 240, so it's about 3,600 or more. Actually, it's about 3,800.
So 3,800 square.
It's about 3,818.
Okay, so it's 3,800 square feet. My repair estimators, I'm probably saying it needs, maybe medium amount of repairs. Actually, I'll be generous and just say light repairs. Price is $780,000. If we say ARV is 1.15 million, we would want to probably buy this at 75% of ARV. Repairs is coming in at 76,000 based off of my wholesale calculators. That could be right. It could be higher. It's hard to say without seeing the house. We could use some adjustments, but in this case, I'm just not going to adjust it. And yeah, I'm getting a MAO of 780,000. So right at where you're trying to get it. So I think you're right. For a wholesale deal, there's not much money to be made. I think we could frankly probably, maybe if on the dispo side, we could make some money. Yeah, I mean, we could maybe sell it and try to make like 30 grand, but it's going to be a little tight. It's possible. I think we're just there for a wholesale deal. If you could get this under contract for like 750, I think we have an amazing wholesale deal. But at this price, we may want to look at a Novation. So I understand where your head's coming from. And if you guys want to check out these calculators, and I'm about to do our Novation calculator, these are the wholesale calculators that I've built. They are the #1 best real estate wholesaling calculators, and they're coming out soon. So stay tuned. So yeah, actually, dude, it genuinely could fucking work for a wholesale deal, but it's close. But now let's calculate an actual Novation, which we're talking about, doing that partnership with the seller, just listing it on MLS. So hard to find. What we want to do is find an as-is comp. I usually don't like to cross major streets, but this is my best comp I found. This one's significantly smaller than ours, and it has a bathroom less, and it's not super nice, and it doesn't even have the pool. I mean, and it sold for $830. So ours could probably sell for, based off of just the comps I pulled, I'm thinking 900 easy. You maybe even is able to squeeze like 950 plus, dude. Pretty crazy numbers. So again, how many square feet was this piece of shit? 3,800? I don't remember. So let's just
3,818.
Yeah, all right, so let's throw in our square feet again, guys. Our purchase price is 780. As is value, 900, but let's just say 950. Let's start with the big money here. Closing cost 2%. Realtor commissions, guys, probably, 3%. And we're going to be using our own realtor, so we don't have to pay our listing agent. We're just going to be paying the buyer's agent in this case. And then repairs, I don't think we're going to have to do a lot to the property. Let's just say we have to spend 10 grand painting it up and just getting it MLS ready. Well, dude, we got a crazy, crazy good deal here. If we're looking for 50 grand in profit, our MAO is 842. So we're actually a lot closer, over $100,000 in profit as a Novation if we can actually sell it for 950. If we can sell it for just, let's just say we sell it for 900,000. I mean, still, we're looking at, over 50 grand in profit for a Novation just for slapping it on MLS. So I think you have something there, Skylar.
Sweet. Awesome.
So yeah, next step, Skylar, is let's schedule an appointment to go see the house. I'm curious to see what parts have been fixed up, what parts haven't. I want to just get some pictures so then I can rerun my comps. And then if it's something that they're interested in and they're okay with us having access to their house for maybe a couple months for showings, they're okay not to sell their house immediately, and they're okay getting 780 if they have to wait maybe a few months to finally get that money, well, let's just lock this up and just move forward.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send you over the contact information as well. I reached out to the son. I just said, hey, partner's interested. We like it at the 780 number or somewhere around there. And just let me know when we can come walk in person. So he hasn't answered, but I'll send you his contact information as well.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the Novation contract. So how this entire Novation is going to work is the seller is going to sign a few different contracts that are not like your standard wholesale contract. So usually when you're wholesaling, Skylar, what do? Right? We send them over a purchase and sale agreement. I got one right right here. This is like a Trek purchase and sale agreement. Then we get that agreement, we write and/or signs on it, and we assign that over to our end buyer, and we get paid an assignment fee when the deal closes in escrow. There's 3 parties. There's the seller, the wholesaler, and the buyer. However, with Novation, there's only going to be 2 parties, and we're going to kick ourselves out of the deal. However, we're going to protect ourselves with essentially a memo. So what we're going to do is we're going to send over a purchase and sale agreement. I have a custom purchase and sale agreement. I don't use a Trek agreement in this case. We're also then going to essentially like file a memo on the property. There's different names for it, different types of documents, but you're just going to protect yourself and make the world know, put a little red flag on that property that says, Maximilian Deer or Skylar has interest in this property. They have equitable interest in this property and no one else can buy it until they go through them. Okay. And that's how we're going to get paid. Then we're going to have the seller also sign a power of attorney, a limited power of attorney that's just allowing us to list a property on MLS. Then you're going to use one of your friend realtors to list it on MLS. Then the last document, Sky, that we need them to sign is actually pretty much our Novation document. This is our key document that what happens is that we're going to list it on MLS, or the realtor that we're working with is going to list it on MLS. And once they find a buyer, that buyer is going to sign a contract directly with our seller, and our original purchase and sale agreement is going to be void. So we're going to have the seller sign something that says, hey, you're going to void our agreement and sign with this new buyer. But we're protected because of that memo. So it's a really complicated process, but if you have the right documents, you have the right attorneys, we can get this done and we could make some good money. And the coolest part is that these sellers, they can get $780 for their house when originally they were getting offers at $720. Now you may be wondering, Max, why don't they just like list it on MLS themselves? Well, they don't want to deal with fixing up the house. They're not experts in that. They don't want to deal with agents. They don't want to deal with the showings. Like they don't want to handle any of this. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to handle this whole process for them. And for that, we're going to get rewarded.
Right.
Last thing, buddy, I would budget just a little bit more in 10K in repairs because we get there and maybe we'll need 20 or 30. So let's see what we're up against. All right. Sounds good, Skylar. I'll talk to you later. Go get that appointment. All right. Bye. Hey, we may have a good Novation deal, guys. And if you want to learn more about Novations, make sure to subscribe.